Are you building a team but aren't quite sure how to be an effective leader? Well, stay tuned because I am sharing 3 things you must do in order to support your team to be an effective leader. Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Chat with Danny. This is where we talk about tips, tools, and inspiration to help you become the best possible version of yourself. You know why? Because that's when you can help your business grow and succeed. Hey everyone, my name is Danny. I am your host for today, and I am a performance improvement consultant helping entrepreneurs and small businesses grow in their personal and professional development. You see, the most important person in our business is ourselves. And if we are taking care of ourselves and we are learning and growing, that is how we build an effective business. So let's get started. Before we start talking about my 3 things that you must do, I want to quickly talk about what support looks like, okay? What support is and why we need to do it and when we are growing our teams and our businesses, okay? So first off, if you know somebody who is building a team or somebody who needs to hear this information, take a moment, share this out, tag them below, let them know, hey, come on over and learn these 3 things, okay? All right, so support. What does support mean? Well, all support really means is to bear all or some of the weight, right? It means to hold up or to help out. That is what it means. Now, what I like about this, the second part of that definition, is it's to bear all or some of the weight. You see, when we're building teams or when we're growing individuals, when we're helping them succeed, we are bearing some of the weight because we are helping them. But ultimately, it is their choice and their opportunity to take what we're offering and use it, right? We've all heard the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's the same idea. But us as leaders, as team leaders, right, we have the opportunity to make sure that we are leading them to that water, so to speak. All right, so why do you want to support your team? Well, one of the main reasons why you should be supporting your team is because if they are successful, you are successful. The business is successful. The company is successful. The team is successful, right? Success comes from supporting each other, right? Supporting those who may need help or guidance or inspiration, right? We see many, many coaches out there who are doing just that. They are helping and supporting these business owners or these other coaches out there. It's exactly what they're doing. And that's exactly why we need to do that with our teams. We need to help them grow and get better. All right, so let's talk about the first thing that you should be doing to support your team. And that is to set clear expectations. So what do I mean by expectations? Well, this goes for even if you don't have a team, right? If you are somebody who is working with customers or clients, we always want to set expectations, right? We always want to set with anybody that we're really working with. We want to make sure we're setting expectations, but most importantly, when we have a team. And what I mean by setting clear expectation is to tell them, how are you going to support them? What is your level of availability? How will you train them? How will you guide them? How are you going to interact with them? You're setting the expectation with them from the very beginning in most cases. If not, if you haven't done that yet, no worries. Take some time to do that now. When I would bring on a new team member, anytime, whether that was when I was in direct sales or when that was in my financial industry when I had my own branch, whenever I would bring in new people, the first thing I would do is set expectations. I would let them know how I was going to support them, what I was going to do. So what I was going to do by training them, what was I going to do by my availability, how were they going to be able to interact with me, how often would I be available, or what was my time frame, right? Did I have set office hours that they could reach out to me, or did I schedule one-on-one meetings with them, right? It set the expectation from the beginning of this is how I'm going to work with you, this is how I'm going to communicate with you, right? And you come to this consensus when you're setting that expectation of clear communication, right? I remember when I was first in direct sales, one of the things that would always happen is I, as a new person coming in, right, I had very high expectations of my upline, right, of my director or a person who was above me. I had very, very high expectations. It's just what I had, right? And their expectations maybe were different than what I thought, right? The first lady that I worked with as my first director, she was kind of the person that was like, there you go, just handle it, girl, all on your own. You can do it. And she would clap for me from afar. That was how she handled her team, right? Well, that's not what I was expecting. I was expecting somebody to be there, that I could ask questions and that I could, go back and forth with and brainstorm with. That was my expectations. But because clear expectations were never set, there became this, kind of frustration between us of, how I was being led by her and how she was leading me. So one of the things you want to think about is, what are you going to do for your team? How are you going to support them? And what does that look like? Communicate that to them. If you haven't done it already, do it now, right? Okay. So number 2 is to provide feedback. One of the things that I see many team leaders or coaches or upline, directors, what they tend to do sometimes is they tell them, right? So they've communicated these expectations that I'm going to be available to you and run something by me. And they'll just tell them, oh yeah, that's great. That looks great. Oh, you're doing a great job. Well, as a person, do you really know when somebody tells you, if I were to tell you, hey, great job on your Facebook Live today, what do you know? Do you know exactly what you did that was great? Was the whole thing great? Was a portion of it great? What was great about it? And why was it great, right? Why was that such a successful Facebook Live? Why did they tell me that? When you're providing feedback, you are giving them specific examples of what it is that they're doing and what they can shift or what they can change. And that, even in the corporate world, when I was coaching managers and supervisors, the same thing. They would always focus on, well, they should have done this and they should have done that and they should have done this. Okay, maybe, yeah, but what did they do great and how did they do it? Or did you set the expectation that this is what you wanted and how you wanted it, right? This is where clear communication comes into play. All right, so that is to provide feedback. And you know what? You can provide feedback on a number of things that they're doing. Maybe they're not sure how to write emails to their customers. They're not sure how to use social media. Maybe they're doing Facebook Lives, and maybe they need some feedback on that, right? But providing coaching and providing them feedback is key to them growing, to them getting better. Okay. And last but not least, number 3 is training. Okay. So if you've set expectations with them, if you've provided them feedback, this is where the training comes in. Because if you're watching them, if you're guiding them and supporting them, you know where they're struggling. And you know where they may need help, right? We don't come on into these businesses knowing everything we need to know about running a business. Many of us, if we've started, my first start onto the entrepreneurial journey was in direct sales. I had no idea how to do that and what all was involved, and I would research and try to figure out, and I didn't really have a good upline to support me or fellow other consultants to support me. I just kind of had to figure it out on my own, which was fine. But, I was so much to learn. So if you've learned some of these things, if you've been in it for a while, or if you're learning things, share those with your team. Train them, teach them. And all the training doesn't have to come from you. It can come from other people. It could come from a coach that you're working with. It could come from them. Maybe they've learned something and they can teach you how to do it. Maybe their background before they got into business was something specific and they can help you in that area, or help the rest of the team in that area, right? So work with each other, which leads me into a bonus. Yes, I'm giving you a bonus tip, and that is collaboration, right? Work with each other. Your team is a team. Yes, they're all growing their individual businesses, right? Whether that's you outsourcing different people for different aspects of your business, right? Or if you are in direct sales and you are or an MLM and you're building, right, your team, they're a team. So bring them together. Help them support each other, right? When we're supporting each other and when we're working together, that is where we're able to magnify everything. It's great to do things on our own, and I'm a big proponent of learning things on my own and figuring it out and working through. But when I have somebody that I can share ideas with or collaborate with, I have many biz besties here on Facebook that I've met and that we've collaborated with, and we've worked and we've shared ideas, and that just makes all of us better, right? If that individual is successful, then that amplifies to the other and the other and the other, and we're all lifting and we're all growing. So that, for you, my lovely friends, is the tips I have for you, the 3 things that you must do as a leader if you're building a team or if you're growing a team, right? And number 1, let's repeat, is set clear expectations. Number 2, provide feedback. Number 3, train them, whether that's weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, whatever works into your schedule, figure it out. Bring somebody else in if you have to. Bring a third party in. And number 4, our bonus, was collaboration. Bring everybody together to support one another. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration. All right. So your action item for today is to take 20 minutes today. 20 minutes. And take a look at how you've currently been supporting your team. What are you doing as far as expectations? Have you set them? Number 2, are you providing feedback? Are you meeting with them regularly? And number 3, are you training them? How are you training them? And how are you bringing them together? Okay. If you haven't been doing that, no worries. There's no time like the present. Don't beat yourself up. Forget about what happened in the past and look at what's happening now. Look forward. What can you do now, right? Reach out to them, call them, say, hey, I want to support you in a way that works for you and me both. What kind of support can I offer you, and how can I offer it? And then work together to try to figure out how that works. Maybe somebody needs you once a week. Maybe somebody needs you only monthly, but make it consistent and do it on a regular basis. If you need any help, if you're struggling, you want to brainstorm some ideas, click the link that's up above or down below, depending on where you're watching this from. And let me know, schedule a time. I'd love to brainstorm with you, share some ideas. If you're looking for a coach to help you coach your team, that is probably one of my favorite sweet spots. It's what I did for many years and I enjoy it so much. So if you want some coaching on how to coach your team, I can help you with that. Just click that link up above or down below. All right, so announcements. Well, this week, if you can tell already, is all about coaching teams, guiding teams, and supporting teams. So I'm going to go into much more detail on Wednesday about setting expectations, what that looks like, and then on Wednesday, I'm going to go into detail on how to provide effective feedback. So feedback that is not just great job, but it's really meaningful and helps your individual team members grow. All right, so that is it for Coffee Chat today. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.